everybody. Welcome to what would have been the very first episode of the Ident Park talk show. We could not resist a Mother's Day dedication, so we brought to you that episode first. In today's episode, we discuss everything concept and strategy, and how we intend to grow our audience and provide an environment that encourages conversations. To do this, we have a very good friend of the show, Valerie. So please watch and enjoy. Thank you.
Yeah, again, like you said, it's in terms of the order of release, this shooting would probably have been the first to come out, but because Mother's Day, is important, and we felt it had made sense to start with something that important.
Right.
And again, that's why the order is a little missed. But again, it's important to kind of share what we want to talk about,
Exactly.
what the concept of the show is, who will be coming to the show, which is a variety of people, the concept, the topics, and all that. I think it's important to put it out there so people know who we are and what we are looking forward to presenting to people, generally speaking. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. First of all, thank you for having me on. It's a privilege to be part of, a huge project, which I must applaud. You guys have definitely worked night in, night out to see that it kickstarts, and I didn't know I was a patron, but I think that
We just made you one.
I think that
We just made you one.
I take that with all the honor and responsibility that it comes with. So, yeah, I'm happy to be here, and I really appreciate and hope that the target audience, would find, I don't want to say solace, but would find this project, a place to share ideas, as you did mention in the intro, where you say no topic is off topic. Yeah. And definitely the Mother's Day aspect, as long as mentioned, is something that we don't want to miss. We are all here today because of
our moms.
Our moms.
Exactly.
That's for sure.
Thank you for having me on.
Exactly. So we're just gonna talk a little bit about our concept and how we started, right? And we belong to a forum where we have these conversations, and it was just my thought, like, why don't we have this thing in a formal way that people can learn something or two from it, right? And I just threw a message in the forum, which we all belong to, and we have interesting discussions in that forum. And say I'm looking for someone to start the talk show with or something like that. Then you contacted me. Actually, a few people contacted me. And then I decided to go with you. And then we worked night and day, like Valerie earlier mentioned, in the background to make this a fusion.
I think when I saw your message, when you put out your message about needing someone to do this, the reason why I reacted so quickly was because starting a YouTube channel and doing a show like this was something that I have been thinking about for a long time. But again, with most things that we want to do, sometimes it's that the opportunity hasn't really presented itself. Sometimes it's just because we don't want to get out of our comfort zone.
Right.
Typically, I'm not someone who wants to be in front of people making comments, right? Because some people would find me controversial. But again, right? So I'm like, maybe this is an opportunity to, step out of this comfort zone and be part of this, right?
And expose how controversial you
And expose how controversial.
And in the process.
Yes, in the process. Well, I to some extent, I agree that you came in or you reacted to Ghana's message on the forum, which we all belong. But to another extent, I know that not by character, but by history, I call you his advocate. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that you were quick to partner.
He was quick to partner with me.
Yes.
So are you saying some people will not partner with me because of
no,
my history?
not in that sense. But I'm just saying what I've been saying. Yeah.
Well, I get the point.
We know that when
Birds
we
of
have
the
our
same feathers
arguments, on
flock
the
together.
Freedom Forum,
Right.
consciously or not,
We agree. We say
you
things.
agree. Yeah, you agree most of the time,
Yeah.
and myself and some other people,
And some other
here, who are
people.
not here today are
You,
usually
you
on the
guys,
other side of
you
things.
guys agree on a lot of stuff. That's
So,
true.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
But that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like to talk about the name.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that because I know I've even talked about it in the
Right.
background.
Yeah.
The name Ident Park.
Right.
I mean, I have an experience of an idol
Right.
in quotes,
Yeah.
you know, and for somebody out there who just sees the name Ident Park, he or she may like, oh, so is it just a
These
place
guys
where
are
these
idlers.
guys, they are just idlers to just go there, you know? So it could go both ways. So
Yeah.
for sure,
Yeah.
it is good to let the
Yeah.
public and maybe enlighten me
Right.
as to the name as well.
Speaking about the name, most of us, I mean, in our small group, we from Cameroon, right? And Ident Park used to be like a place where people just sit and have these casual but interesting conversations. It could be under the tree, it could be the market square, it could be at somebody's house, right? But people usually in the evenings will come, gather, talk about life, about things that's affecting their life. So no, we're not coming here to idle. I think we're here discussing important issues. So that's why I thought, I mean, we went back and forth on a lot of names, right?
But before we get to the names, I just want to talk a little bit about the name itself, right? Ident Park, yes, I fully understand where the controversy may come from. Back in Cameroon, we all know what Ident Parks are typically meant for.
Yeah.
But what I want people who know about the Ident Park in Cameroon to do is take the concept of the Ident Park back home in Cameroon. Take away all the negative aspects about that. What is left, the positive
They love it.
aspects, is what we are
Right.
wanting to put out here at our show, right?
Yeah.
Take out the
Gossip,
take out the
slander.
slander, take out the I don't know,
The gambling.
the gambling,
gambling.
and
That was pretty popular. That's what most
the-
people did.
yeah, and the
Gam-
weed smoking,
the weed
because that
smoking,
is where
right.
you go
Yeah.
to go. Take out all those negative
Negatives.
aspects, leave the positive aspects, which are casual,
Yeah.
which are serious conversations, but in a very light-hearted manner,
Right.
which are educative. Because
Right.
I could tell you for sure, there are certain things about life that I learned from
my
Ident Park,
right?
from
Yeah,
older brothers and older friends who had experienced life
Right.
and who have come there and shared their experiences. And I have picked out a lot.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. The first girl I actually went and asked out, where did you think that courage
Well,
came from?
I hope you are not putting yourself under.
No, it's that is where it came
Right.
from, right? Even just picking courses in school.
Right.
There are boys who came to Ident Parks who were up in SWA reading law, who, left an impression on me when they went back.
Right.
And that is how I developed an interest
Yeah.
in reading law.
Yeah.
There were other things that added to that. But
Right.
again, that was where I picked that out.
Yeah.
So even though there's a lot of negativity about what happens at the
Yeah.
Ident Park, but I can tell you for sure that
Right.
there's a lot of positives as
Yeah.
well.
I agree, and I have an experience. I was going to ask Ghana if he has any Ident Park experience, which I doubt. Which I doubt.
Why does it
Yeah.
doubt?
You don't look like somebody who hangs out at the Ident
Yes.
Park, right?
But like Asong is saying, yes, there is a lot of positives that we can get in the Ident
setting.
Park setting,
Yeah.
especially back home. And I would say that I think I got my first job after university studies,
Through Ident Park.
Hanging out.
hanging out.
The concept of Ident
Yes,
Park. Yeah.
at an Ident Park.
Yeah.
It didn't mean that I was maybe a bad guy
Yeah.
or not going to school,
Mhm.
because it's usually also given that connotation.
Yeah, exactly,
of
right.
Which
juvenile
is-
delinquents
which is-
and things like that.
And there's some
you know?
truth to that too, if
Yeah.
we're honest.
Yes, there is.
Just like there is truth to everything else.
Right.
Take a church. You think everyone in the
Yeah,
church
exactly,
is
right?
coming to the church for the purpose of
Mhm.
God or
Mhm.
serving God?
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
people
right.
have hidden
Yeah.
agendas, right?
Yeah.
So just like everything else, there is always
There's a-
two sides.
yeah.
There is the good side and there is the other side
Yeah.
that people mostly don't
Yeah.
want to talk about. But it's there. It's always
Yeah.
there.
And to amplify that, actually, besides the fact that yes, you might have come across somebody of substance, or you came across someone there, and then you took a better step in life.
Yeah.
Even from an outside perspective, back home, yes, it's easy to give it that negative
Connotation,
Exactly.
right?
connotation, right? At the same time, think about say where we are today. Walk a little bit out of the box and say, when you talk about mental health,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
How do people here, connect in the sense that it helps them live
Yeah.
not as a tablet to your mental concern,
But it
but
gives you
that sense of interaction.
You mind
So
social
the Ident
interaction,
Park setting back home, what I'm saying basically is that it has served, as a stress relievant.
Yes.
yeah. Oh, there's
Yes.
no doubt
Too
about
many
that.
people. Yes.
Mm,
Just going
no
out
doubt.
there to argue about football,
Mm-hmm.
to
Exactly.
argue
Correct.
about, politics or whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It gives that element of social
Right.
connection and interaction, which maybe here we don't find every day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say, besides one-on-one experiences, generally people meet there. The fact that they are interacting and having a conversation, it curbs maybe some thoughts about
Yeah.
going to maybe commit some kind
Yeah,
of crime and
exactly.
things like that.
That's
I
so
think
true.
it takes people
Yeah.
a little bit give you a little bit of time to get out of your reality and
Yes.
be
Yeah.
in a place where you could just have conversations, which might not even mean anything to you
Anything.
at the end
Yeah.
of the
Yeah,
day, but it takes you to a different place,
Yeah.
right? And you could forget about whatever stresses or whatever
Right.
issues you're
Right.
dealing with and just be there and have fun with people.
exactly.
Exactly.
I think that is what we are looking
Yeah.
forward to sharing with
Yeah.
with our concept here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, controversial as it may, it still strikes something with people, right? It brings back a lot of memories, and like you said, we take out the negative part and we focus on the positives, and it's gonna help us in a long way. So we talked about the name. Now our concept. And I know I've been talking to you for quite at length about our concept.
Before we go to the concept, do you remember some of the names we had?
Oh,
wanted
we
to-
had
I
like
think that's something that we wanted
Men's
to talk about.
Den,
Right.
All About Nothing.
Yeah.
What was the other one?
Men's Cave.
Men's Cave. Yeah, I know there was Men's Den, Men's Cave, All About Nothing. I'm not sure if there's enough. Yeah, but again, because part of our idea was not to limit it. So already putting men there was like limited to a men's show. So because we want to be open to everybody, we want to have women, we have to want people that we.
However, I know that somewhere in your minds, you would have loved to keep that man, but understanding
from the
that-
PR point of view.
Exactly. Understanding that, you want to hit not just the man.
Right.
or-
I think we definitely could have
Yeah.
picked or stuck with any of the names that we would propose, right? But again, the idea is we don't want to sound like we were limited or
Yeah.
limiting to just men.
Right.
We wanted everyone to feel
welcome,
welcome and everyone to feel included,
Yeah.
which again, of course, is not just for aesthetics.
Yeah.
Everyone is welcome here.
Right. Every
It doesn't
topic.
matter if you're a man, you're a woman, you're a child.
Yeah.
Every topic is going to happen right here.
No
right?
topic is off topic.
So I think that is why we went with Ident Park. Again, there's also one thing that I kind of figure out. Like Ident Park, right? It's common back
Right.
home. But even here, I know there are places where either men or women go to. They have their names, like the man cave.
Exactly.
Or for example, a she shed.
Yeah.
I googled this.
Yeah.
It's a place for women where women, go.
Well, you mean
and
you have
their
a practical
conversation.
experience?
Yeah,
in that?
practical
I mean, you
experience,
have been there yourself.
I have not. No, I have not been there,
Just-
but I know
Well,
that it
things
exists.
like man cave, like this can be
This
considered
could be called
a man cave in
man
my
cave,
house, right?
right?
Like
Which
just
is-
anywhere a man can escape and do his own thing
Exactly.
without the wife bugging him and children
Yeah,
bugging
and
him.
it's not just male. Women have
Women have
their
the time.
own places.
I mean,
and
going
they
to
do
a
their own
spa,
thing.
And
going to
what are the activities of the man cave, if I may? ask?
Conversations.
playing
Have
games,
a beer.
conversations, have a beer.
Talk with men as we're doing here, right?
That's all.
That is what it is. It's
Yeah.
not me.
Yeah. Can I trust?
It's what it
Can I
is.
trust what you're saying? Okay.
But
I take it.
another important point I want to make, regardless of the name, I think we want to put in the hard work.
Yeah.
right? Because I think the best advert out there is hard work.
Mm-hmm.
And people appreciate the hard work that you put in, regardless of what kind of name you have. I think so. And if people see the hard work and they see the product and they see the contribution that you bring in, or the value that you bring into the society, they also, if you care, your name is Satan's Club, people will still follow you if they find that you're bringing value. That's the point. I mean, I'm not gonna dismiss the fact that the name is important. Everybody knows that it's important.
Name is.
But when you put in hard work, you bring value to society, people are still gonna follow you. I think so.
Well, I agree, and I think that so far, at least in my appreciation of the name, as we've talked about, it makes sense, or it would make sense to whoever gives an ear,
Right.
to why Ident Park, and now they follow the conversation and understood the concept of what obtains back home, how we want to like extract the negatives and focus on the positives, and then replicate that here, where also everyone is welcome. With several aspects of it, we talked about the mental health. Those are determined, knowing that, especially during this time of the year, of the last 2 years, it's hard to interact. Normally, this time on a given Saturday, we are
somewhere, right?
Spirit FC. We would have been, barbecuing or doing something.
Yeah, exactly.
But we've not had that opportunity in the last 14 to 16 months. So something like this definitely also goes a long way to speak of how well people can get out of their independence, or a little, I don't want to call home corners, and then come out and still interact, share ideas, and one more.
So we want to talk a little bit about the concept, and I think one of the main things we decided at the very beginning was to have people in person. Right, that was very important for this show because we want to see people, we want to talk people, get the non-verbal cues, feed off the energy of the room, right? So that was really important to be able to have people have a face-to-face conversation, which is kind of tricky now during COVID times, but we have to make it work somehow. Because if you follow all the other talk shows, it's Zoom. Sometimes the internet goes off. Sometimes the lighting is not the best, and whatever. There's a lot of things that can go wrong with technology, right? So, but I thought that in-person aspect was really important.
I personally think that there's a different level of engagement when you're talking to someone face to face, right? When you can see how their expressions from depending on what you're saying, you can make adjustments on what or how you put out information. For Zoom and the other ways of communicating, how people have been doing it so far, it's good. There's no doubt about that. I guess it's
a better alternative.
This to me is a better way of doing it. I guess they say necessity is a mother of invention. So Zoom became popular during COVID, right? And people have.
If you had Zoom stocks, man, you're rich.
Exactly.
If you had stocks before COVID,
people have been able to adapt to using Zoom, but I feel that our concept again is we want to be able to talk to people face to face and to have that clean and clear human interaction as opposed to doing it over the internet on Zoom or Skype or things like that.
Just to be clear, we're not damning anybody who's doing it that way. Right? We're doing it.
And maybe I should, permit me highlight the fact I've had that conversation with Ghana already. That for the public to know down the road that Ident Park, would host sessions or outdoors, so that people do not feel that
we have the equipment, right?
Yes, they are coming into an enclosed setting, and we know there is COVID and all of that. But that as regulations permit, outdoor it would work so well.
We have the equipment to do that. We can definitely do that.
And I think it's fair just to add that all COVID rules, restrictions, expectations are being respected. So with the guests we ask, they do the screenings. Have you been out? Are you sick? Again, we do all that, right? And then we encourage people to put on their mask, and then we try and social distance as much as we can, just so that we are not creating an environment where we are spreading COVID. People can feel comfortable knowing that coming here puts them at no risk of
getting the virus,
of catching COVID. So I just thought maybe we should put that out there so people know. If you get an invitation, don't worry about COVID. Please show up.
Yeah.
You'll be
Yeah,
welcome.
we're gonna screen you anyway. So another part of another important aspect of our concept was casual,
Mhm.
keeping it casual. You can see we're having drinks. We're not a drinking show, just so people know, but we're having drinks because it's a way to relax, to feel, to connect with people. Food and drinks has been an old age human thing that people
Mhm.
connect with,
Yep.
right? People meet and have drinks and whatever. So it was our goal to make it casual, but still discussing important issues, if you know what I mean. So we're not inviting people here to come and do a monologue. We're not inviting people here to come and do a lecture or a presentation. You just keep it casual, but we're discussing important issues.
It's good. It's good to put that out for sure. I mean, casual and but with purpose.
Right.
Yeah, with purpose, and I think it's a journey. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's a journey.
Oh, yeah, it's a journey.
And it has different stages, right? Different stages.
Yeah.
So, of course, it's good to let people know that maybe dress code. There is no.
You don't have to come in a suit.
Yeah, there is no standard or expectation.
Or Togo.
You know,
If you feel casual,
Right.
yeah, if
putting
you
on a suit,
Right.
that's fine.
that's
Yeah.
up to you. Yes.
Right? If you feel casual putting on a t-shirt or
Right,
putting on
yeah,
something
yeah.
like this,
Yeah.
Exactly.
it's fine.
Yeah.
As long as you're comfortable
Right.
in what you are,
Yeah.
there's no dress code. We will
Yeah.
never tell you to, hey,
Yeah.
you need to dress like this
Yeah.
in order to be part of a show.
Right.
That is, you have to be comfortable in what you're putting on and feeling casual about it, right?
And look
so
clean too.
presentable. I
Yeah,
think
be
that's
presentable.
key. You have to be presentable.
Right.
It doesn't matter what you have on, right?
Yeah.
Just being presentable.
Yeah.
People want to be able to see you
Yeah.
as opposed to,
Seeing a pseudo you where you're all dressed up and pretending to be something that you're not.
yeah.
I think that's.
That's good.
So we've talked about that. Another important aspect that we wanted to also focus on was on quality of our video and audio. We've spent quite a bit. We're not going to put the amount here.
We I think we've made a big investment.
but- right.
And the thing we should not emphasize is that when we started about a month and 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
we had a very simple concept,
Right.
right? It was simple.
Right.
And then we did our first shoot for the intro.
Right.
We looked at it and we like, this is not good enough.
Right.
If we want quality, this is not quality.
I mean, even the one we have out there, we're still not. I mean,
So
it's-
we kept making adjustments and adding to the equipments we got. We wanted the best in terms of quality, and there's no other way of getting that quality unless you invest in equipment. So there's
Right.
lighting, there's the
recorder.
there's the recorder, there's
The camera.
the cameras we're using, there's the
mic.
microphone, the earpieces, the software that
The
we
software,
finally that
right.
we got, right, to be able to
Edit
edit and
and-
adjust
yeah.
our videos. We put in a lot of time
Right.
and a lot of money and a
Yeah.
lot of energy in making sure that we had everything that we
Yeah.
needed
Right.
to get the quality that we wanted to put out there,
Yeah.
right? Because, like you said, quality for us is important.
Right. And it goes a long way, right? Like, what do you want to put out there? How do you want people to know you?
To know you.
We are not perfect, right? But at least we wanted to put a standard that people we appreciate, right? And people who, like to watch your content, and feel like they're getting value from it. So it was important. I felt like it was an important investment.
I agree, and that's why I talk of journey in the sense that
Oh, there's still a long ways to go.
yes, no, not just
We've
a long
come
way
from
to
a
go.
long way,
Yes,
I
we've
think.
come a long way. You guys have come a long way,
Yeah.
and for sure, positive feedback
Right.
and critique is welcome.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. As long as it's in the concept or in the frame of your means,
Yeah.
and definition of quality and what you want to put out there.
Yeah.
People are welcome to give some positive feedback
Right.
as to how they will see Ident Park skyrocket.
And just to say, in terms of feedback or criticisms, you want to put it right, we are very much open to
Yeah.
taking criticisms.
Yeah.
We are very much open to improve on what we are presenting out
Right.
there. So if the quality of the video or the recording or the audio isn't good enough for
Yeah.
you, please let us
Let
know.
me
Yeah.
talk about
If the content
Yeah.
isn't what you think it should be, please make recommendations.
Yeah, sure.
Let us know what it needs
Right.
to be. If the quality of the people of our guests isn't up to your standards, please let us know.
Yeah.
There, we want to work on this.
And
We
let
want
us
to
know what we
improve
need to
this.
talk about too,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. If
Yeah,
something is burning, you have a pressing issues that you think is important to talk about,
Let us know.
Let us know.
It's Idle Park is yours as much as it's ours,
Right,
right?
yeah.
And you can, you know,
So in line with what you just said, Ghana, topic of discussion.
Right.
I mean, I know it's a public show,
Right.
but maybe people want to know
Mm-hmm.
if there is any kind of censorship with regards to content,
Right.
you know, of a certain topic.
Right.
For example, we could talk politics, but we
Right.
could be, you know,
Yeah.
or like talk it at the surface level or
Yeah.
observation level. You know, we could talk social life,
Right.
we could talk religion,
Yeah,
we could
exactly.
talk culture, all these
Yeah.
things. You know, but is there a scope as to which we moderate? You
No.
know, how deep we go into
Yeah.
this?
No,
conversation?
the short answer is no. And we are open to every kind of conversations. What we are not open to is promoting violence through communication to other people. But there's no topic is off topic. That's part of our intro, and we mean that literally. But we're not creating a forum where people are coming to fight and whatever. We're creating a forum that people who don't agree can, respectfully disagree. That's the point of the conversation. So I know there are many pressing issues that is very divisive. Talk of politics. You can talk about what's happening in Cameroon. You can talk about elections anywhere. Those are divisive issues, right? But we want an environment that encourages, dialogue between people that don't agree. And sometimes people agree. So
Respect of opinion.
Respect of opinion. And trusting people that are coming from a place of goodwill, right? They're coming from a good place to share their ideas. So I don't know if you have any thoughts at all.
Again, just like you say, I think the key is that we don't want this forum to be a place where people come and spread hate, right?
Good.
Hate speech, not allowed.
Yeah.
We would definitely be telling you that is hate speech. We
Right.
don't want it. Encouraging violence against anyone or in any way, that is not allowed here.
Right.
So, in as much as we will be open to talking about anything
Right.
and all things,
Right.
again, it's how we put it out there.
Right.
We want this show to spread positive messages,
Right.
even in disagreement,
Right.
because we can disagree, but disagree in a very
Right.
positive and
Right.
a very acceptable manner,
Yeah.
right? We might not necessarily have the same opinions, the same ideas about issues,
Yeah.
but we want you to be able to put it out there without necessarily creating a situation where you're causing harm on the second or the third
Yeah.
person, right?
Yeah.
So we want to be able to have those conversations, but please, we don't want to spread hate, we don't want to spread violence, and any of that.
Yeah.
Not here. This is not the place for that. No.
Very important to know.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we've touched on the three cornerstones of our concept, and we just want to talk a little bit about our audience, like who is our target audience, and just to add to that, who's our target audience, and where do we see ourselves in the next year, in the next 2, 3, 5 years? So I think we can talk about that all in one.
That is a long time.
That's a long time. But I think our target audience is everyday regular people who are just living their lives like regular people and are having the same issues that everyday regular people have, right? So we are starting right now with the people we know. You came here because we're friends and we've talked about this. Starting in our communities and connecting people in our communities, but we intend to grow with these people, right? And bring them content that they enjoy and grow with them, and hopefully they find value in what we're putting out there.
So, in other words, there is no boundary as to
No.
color, religion.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's good. So much so that
Yeah.
anyone out there that happens to come across
Yeah.
an extract of Ident Park and
Right.
say, hey, I overheard
You think
this
it's only for black
conversation,
people?
and I think that I would like to say something to the community.
Right.
How
Yeah,
do they
yeah,
reach you? They
yeah.
can connect by email,
Facebook.
Facebook, and submit a request
Yeah.
to come in. Is
Yeah.
that
Oh,
correct?
sure. Yeah. 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 And that's a very important point. I mean, we do not want to limit ourselves to a particular group, to either just men or just women or just immigrants or just black people, or we want to be open to everybody that we deem that we see that can provide value to our audience, right? And I know there's a lot of businesses, and I'm not down in businesses that do this. There's a lot of people out there, oh, we are black owned, or we are immigrants, or whatever. That's fine, do you? But that's not us, right? We want to be open to everybody, right?
It's again, like you said, it's all inclusive, right?
Right,
It's
it's
not.
very
It's
inclusive,
not.
right.
It's not. This is not a show for just Cameroonians.
Yeah,
This is not
exactly.
a show for just Africans.
Right.
This is a show for anyone who is interested in the topics that we are having conversations
Right.
about. And again, we will not be having conversations just about the things that affect us as
Us.
Cameroonians
Right.
or us as
Yeah.
Africans. It would,
Because we are
topics are
Cameroonians, we're
varied,
Canadians
right?
too.
We are
right?
Canadians.
We
We
cannot
have-
dispute that fact.
We have kids who were born here.
Yeah,
we
right.
have kids who are growing up here. We have kids or family members or friends, who are not Cameroonians, who
Yeah.
are not Africans, who are not black,
Right.
who are white, and
Yeah,
who
yeah,
are
yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
So it's not going to be limited
Right.
to any particular group of people. Again, like you said, it's value.
Yeah.
If you
As long as you
add
bring value.
value
Yeah.
to
That's how we.
our community, to our province, Alberta, to our country, Canada,
Yeah.
why
Or
not?
Cameroon, well, as long
If
as
you
you
can
can
add
add
right?
value to humanity.
Yeah.
We are
yeah,
humans.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is I think we agree that is
Yeah.
who we want as an
Right.
audience, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to-
Yeah, I just wanted to underline. So, is there any age limitation? Age group?
It's
Ah,
tricky.
but
That's a
was
tricky one.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, my. Are you done with the question? Or?
no, yeah, because we know
Yeah.
we are a growing community,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And this is something that not just our friends
Yeah.
or our parents would come across.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Our kids, siblings,
Yeah.
and maybe we would say there might be some topics that
Kids
would want
can
to
have.
invite kids
Yeah. Oh yeah.
to come and
Yeah. Yeah.
talk about things like that.
Yeah. We talked about this in passing, right? But we didn't really go deep into it. But my initial answer to that, because it's a show that is based on the value you provide. Every age is welcome, as long as they can provide value. There are lots of kids who are talented, who can show other kids what they can do with an instrument, what they can do in
Exactly.
their craft, whatever. Those kids, they're providing value, right? There are lots of kids who are talented in music, or who are strong in academics and stuff like that. They can provide value to other people, right? So my initial answer to that is it's not limited to any particular age, as long as they can provide value and they have the parental consent to participate,
Thank
right?
you. Because you may have some kids, for example, that have skill in, I would say, maybe piano or
Exactly.
drumming
Right.
or music. But how would their friends know? Or
No,
how would
exactly.
the community know?
Yeah.
Maybe this is the forum
Yeah,
where they will
yeah.
come and showcase that.
Exactly.
And then, all of this goes down to like creating that that
Inclusive.
inclusiveness, serene and harmonious society and community, which is the value of humanity itself.
Right.
Man is a gregarious being,
Right.
right? What would it benefit any of us? Say maybe you had this idea, for example,
just kept to
and
yourself.
you kept it to yourself, and you sat in the comfort of your living room,
Right.
and you are doing maybe your shootings and so on. So
Yeah.
reaching out to people could be another way, not just for us, but our kids may through this forum also reach out to their friends.
Yeah.
Again, just like everything on, don't go. Sorry, parents need to control what their kids are watching on YouTube or go on Facebook, right? Like we mentioned in our introduction, there are a variety of topics that we will be having conversations on, and one of those topics that come to mind is sex. So if we were having a conversation about relationships and sex, I would of course encourage parents to not let their kids come to Ident Park for that, because it would probably be an adults only type conversation. So you could, control and regulate and make sure that your kids are watching what is appropriate for kids. We will definitely be having programs for children, but again, if a program is particularly for adults only, we would of course encourage parents to make sure that their kids are not watching those, right? Again, it has to be appropriate to the age, right?
Right.
Like most things on the internet.
Yeah, there could be a discussion on sexual education.
Right.
Of course.
That is age appropriate for kids of
Right.
13, 14, 15, and so on,
Yeah.
right? Or if it's beyond those ages, then, as Ghana did mention, parental consent.
Yeah.
If a kid is,
Yeah.
and maybe if a kid is coming to the show, they are most likely being accompanied by the parent.
Right.
I'm thinking.
Yeah. Okay, so projections. Where do you see yourself in 2022? May.
The first thing is that I think we still need to be here.
Yeah. You still need to be alive.
Still need to be here and shooting shows. I think
Right.
that's the first thing. We want to be consistent,
Right.
right? We want to be consistent. If we say we are putting out a show or a video every weekend or every week, well, we want to be able to do that. And in terms of where we are, where we want to be in 2 years, I think we want to be bigger, well known,
Right.
better in terms of quality and content.
Yeah.
Maybe be in a different space.
Right.
Large enough to accommodate
10,
more than 4 people,
Yeah.
because so far I think the most we can do is 5.
Yeah.
So we want to be able to do more. And why not have programming that isn't just us?
Yeah.
In the sense that having other people
Oh, yeah.
doing shows for Ident Park,
Right.
right? Not necessarily having myself and Ghana present, right? So I think that is what we are looking for. We want to be bigger. We want to be better.
Yeah, it's good.
Sounds
it's good
too
to let the
ambitious,
public know.
Yeah.
but that is what we want to be.
Right. Yeah. I agree with you.
It's good to let the public know that Ident Park has come to stay,
Yeah.
right? It's not come to be short-lived,
No,
and that the vision is far even beyond the
the
horizon.
exits.
Yeah.
Exits.
So,
Yes,
definitely, we always have to set goals
yeah.
and then take baby steps
To get there.
to
Yeah.
get them accomplished.
Yeah. Well, I think we're almost. I don't know if you have anything to add, but one more thing. It's
Yeah, I wanted to ask following what Asan was saying.
Yeah.
So, are we telling the public that Ident Park has is it a weekly or a monthly or a bi-monthly release of?
It's a weekly. It's a weekly release.
Okay.
Yeah, and sometimes we're gonna have midweek shows too, but we are committed to weekly releases of episodes.
That is a big. It's a big undertaking.
It's a
big
Yeah, right,
undertaking.
Yes.
Yeah.
But again, that is something that we are hoping to do. Again, it's a commitment. So
Right.
that is something that we will
Yeah.
do. We will
Yeah.
put out weekly shows.
Yeah.
And in some cases, depending on what's going on within the week, we could do a midweek show, depending on what we are wanting to put out, right? So that is the commitment: weekly shows.
Well, it's fair to appreciate what you guys have accomplished this far, at least in my eyes and ears. I'm not sure if it's also fair to talk about maybe some of the challenges that you've encountered up to this point.
I think financially, it was an okay hit for us. I mean, we could still manage to feed our families and still start the show, so that was okay. I think one of our main challenges is because we've not been out there, so people don't know who we are, right? So we've invited some, some people that will consider high profile, but because they haven't seen what we've been doing so far, they are not really interested because they don't see the value that we're bringing to them, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we're very appreciative of the very people who took the risk to be the very first guest on our show, right? Like you coming here, that means a lot, right?
Yeah.
It means a lot for someone who just saw the vision, but thought it was worthwhile to come. That's so important to us.
I think I want to give a big shout out to Dr. Mrs. Teresa Folifok, who was part of the very, very, very first show, and also to Mrs. Tina Jongwe, who again saw the vision.
Right.
Even though we had nothing to prove, we have nothing out there to show what we're capable of doing, but they felt that we were at a place where they could rely and be trusting that we would be doing something great, and just for that simple reason, they decided to be part of the very first show. And again, a big shout out to you too, President Valerie, for coming out here and being part of this, because again, we have nothing out there. There's nothing out there that shows you what we.
Yeah, I think that's one of our big challenges.
Well, thank you, but I wouldn't really say I'm taking credit. I do see, at least in my eyes, I know we belong to a certain forum together. Right. We've talked about this, so definitely a project like this, there are some challenges. Even just getting to people, and you're right. Yeah. Humans and humans, reaching out to people and say, "Hey, I want to do this. Is there somebody out there that is thinking like me?" Yeah. You may think it's easy, and you may have people out there that have the skill, have the ideas, but they need a push or a trigger. Yeah. They need a motivation. So. Most likely, I'm hoping that after these, maybe 1 or 2 releases, you will have other members of our community or of the public at large that will be like, "Hey, I saw some gentlemen, doing some excellent work, and I want to put in my own contribution."
Yeah. Please, if you're out there and you have ideas and you want to be part of this show and you want to talk about things that are important to you, please reach out to us. If we reach out to you, please
honor the invitation.
Honor the invitation, because again, I think that is what is going to be probably our biggest challenge. Exactly. We don't just want to come here, me and Ghana, and do
and
this,
just be an echo chamber,
2 of us, right? Because again, I think another challenge that I kind of want to mention is the fact that me and Ghana, we are not communicators. We don't have that background, right?
Right.
No journalism, no mass communication. I am a law student, law, social work. That is where I practice. He is a nurse, registered nurse. Nothing about this is anything that we are familiar with, right? This is completely new. In terms of putting down concepts, in terms of how do we run a show, in terms of how do we set up the equipment, in terms of there's no technical background, right? So we have been kicking and pushing and trying by error, and that is how we got here. We are not as experts in this. We are definitely learning as we go. So that has been a challenge. Like we mentioned, I think we mentioned this earlier, that it took us about a month and a half.
To get everything together.
To get just the intro ready.
Yeah.
Like a month and a half just to get the intro ready, right? So it's not anything that we are good at.
Well,
but we're here now.
But we're here.
Kudos, right? You've done great. And so it is good to recognize that, I may have these limitations, and which in itself, it's a value, knowing your best or knowing your weaknesses. But now, what is your push factor is that motivation.
It's the motivation.
The motivation, where you are coming from. Your intention is you want to reach out to people. You want to connect. You want to give your own contribution to your community.
Yes.
And this is a way you've thought that you can do it. Now you are just asking if there are some experts out there
who can support us.